On this episode of Cape Media News, law enforcement carries the torch for Special Olympics. Beachgoers to some Dennis beaches will need to take care of their own trash. A new co-working fitness space opens later this month in Chatham, and a longtime local leadership organization has a new name. These stories and more. This is Cape Media News. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cape Media News, your local authentic newscast for Cape Cod. I'm Sarah Colvin. Thank you so much for joining us. Our community is mourning the loss of a great man. Hyannis Fire Captain Thomas Kenny passed away this week. According to a Facebook post from Hyannis firefighters, Kenny passed away on Wednesday, June 5th. He served the Hyannis Fire District for over 36 years. Captain Kenny served as rescue team manager for the Federal Emergency Management Agency, responding to Ground Zero in Lower Manhattan. He was one of the first search and rescue team members to arrive following the 9/11 terror attacks. Captain Kenny was a great man, a loving father, and will be very missed in our community. Thank you, Captain Kenny. More than 2,500 Special Olympic athletes will compete this weekend at the Massachusetts 2019 Summer Games in Boston. Tonight's opening ceremony kicks off with a fan-favorite event, the Law Enforcement Torch Run, a convoy of more than 150 cruisers, motorcycles, and special police that will converge on the Harvard Athletic Complex with the flame of hope to light the Special Olympics cauldron. Here on Cape Cod, law enforcement showed support with a very special torch run of their own, a 66-mile relay along Route 6A from Provincetown to Bourne, all to raise awareness and funds that directly benefit the Special Olympics. Gabrielle Rawson reports.
You know the Massachusetts Special Olympics are right around the corner when you see the Law Enforcement Torch Run on Route 6A.
Today is the annual Law Enforcement Torch Run for Special Olympics. The torch run starts in Provincetown about 5 in the morning, and it's a relay all the way up Cape. So each department in each town that has Route 6A running through it has a contingent of runners out there. And for us, for instance, about 11:15, we'll meet the Brewster PD contingent at the town line. We'll take the torch from them, and we'll run it to the Yarmouth town line, and we'll turn it over to the Yarmouth PD.
It's a group effort. I think, being a part of it just shows the camaraderie within the department, and it's for a special cause, so we love to participate every year.
The teamwork, the team building, the representation, and of course the cause is phenomenal. And it's important to us, so it's nice to get out there and kind of fly the flag.
This is my third year participating in this event here, and I've also done it in years past. I think it's really important. As a police department as a whole, we like to support the community.
I've done this for the past 4 years, so this will be my 5th. It's a good cause, good partnership with law enforcement.
The Law Enforcement Torch Run raises awareness and needed funding for the Special Olympics. Runners carry the flame of hope, signifying courage and diversity.
The flame of hope is just that itself. It's hope. It's to give someone, an opportunity to look forward to something.
The flame of hope symbolizes that we will continue to raise funds, we will continue to support the Special Olympics, and we will continue to show that it's important to all of us, Cape-wide and beyond.
I think it represents a lot of people that are fighting a lot of battles that many people might not know about. And it's good to bring it to the forefront, so it gives attention to a good cause.
We carry that flaming torch from Provincetown to Bourne. But why I think we really do it is to raise awareness and funds for these, young men and women who are incredible.
So our athletes absolutely love the support that they get from our law enforcement partners around the state. Part of the Law Enforcement Torch Run, it's raising funds, but it's also it's getting the law enforcement across the state to come out to our Special Olympics competitions, to present medals to the athletes at the end of their games, to do high-five tunnels and be supportive through opening ceremonies and really just engage with their constituents. I think our Law Enforcement Torch Run is a great partnership because it's, at its heart, it's community policing. And so it offers law enforcement around the world, but especially in Massachusetts, the opportunity to get to know their community members.
The Special Olympics Massachusetts Summer Games will be held in Boston June 7th through 9th, and officers on Cape Cod have a special message for all the athletes.
Oh, go, go, go. You know, we've got your back for sure.
You've got this, guys. Just show up, keep doing what you're doing, and keep up with the success. And I wish you all the best of luck, but you don't need it because you got it.
Good luck. We stand behind you. We love the event, and go get them.
Just go get it, play hard, and have fun.
We have your back. We're part of family. We're the Blue. And always look for us for help and support.
More than 2,500 athletes will compete in this year's Massachusetts Special Olympics. Reporting for Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson.
And again, the Massachusetts 2019 Special Olympics Summer Games takes place this weekend in Boston. Well, Memorial Day weekend has come and gone, and while the first day of summer is still in the future, beaches are open, and for some beachgoers, that means some new rules. The town of Dennis is piloting a carry-in, carry-out program on 3 of its beaches. Gabrielle Rawson reports.
When you go to the beach, the last thing you want to look at is trash. In Dennis, the Beach Committee and Department of Public Works have announced a new carry-in, carry-out trash policy that they hope will eliminate waste at the beach.
The beach committee in this town does not set any policy. All we do is when something is brought to our attention or we notice something, we discuss it, we work on it, we make a recommendation, we make motions and recommendations to the Board of Selectmen. Someone brought us this carry-on, carry-out for our beaches, and we thought it was a good idea. Paul Chatelain, who you'll speak to in a minute, started working on this with Dave Johansson, and they came up with a plan for 3 of our beaches.
Well, what we've done already is we have placed some signs here at the beaches, for example, which identify this location as a carry-in, carry-out policy, that there won't be barrels here, much like there are signs here that state there aren't lifeguards here at this beach. I have to give credit to my staff that make these signs and make sure that they're up so that the public is made aware of it. We want to make sure that beaches do remain clean.
The new program would eliminate trash receptacles at 3 Dennis beaches, Depot Street, Harbor View, and Raycroft Beach. Because of their small size, these beaches are ideal for the 1-year pilot program.
These are not huge beaches, so they're easy to test. It's a pilot program. It's just to test it to see if it works. We're hoping, upon hope, that it will work.
Our ultimate goal is to improve the experience on the beach and every beach in the town of Dennis. So ideally, this pilot program will not only succeed at these beaches, but may also be implemented at other beaches as well. There's always a concern for beaches that have concessions at them or ones that have picnic benches. So we're not going to end up doing it at West Dennis Beach, for example, or Corporation, where there are bathhouses and people can buy food, because there the experience is not improved by removing trash barrels.
The public that visit our beaches, some of them bring their own household trash to our barrels, which makes it almost impossible for us to keep the barrels free of debris, because it's not just litter brought to the beach or generated by the beachgoer, it's literally bags of household trash.
But the town says they're not removing the trash bins to punish anyone. They're implementing the new trash policy for the sake of the environment.
DPW can tell you better, but when they come to pick up the trash, there's trash everywhere. And of course, days like this, which are beautiful but windy, they fly around everywhere. So they're on our beaches, they're getting in our water. This is all a problem. Our beaches are a beautiful natural resource. And if we don't protect them today, the generations to follow, they're going to be really messed up. So that's why we're doing this. And it makes people more aware of what they're bringing to our beaches and what can wind up in our ocean.
Dennis Beaches opened on Memorial Day weekend and will be open 7 days a week from June 8th through September 2nd. In Dennisport, for Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson.
And while these regulations are only in place at a few local beaches, it's always a good idea to be mindful of the environment and carry out what you carry in anytime you go to the beach. Up next, a new co-working fitness center opens later this month in Chatham.
Do you notice the large influx of cyclists on our roads in the summer? Every year, 4,000 international students choose to make Cape Cod their home for the summer and for the experience of a lifetime. Biking is their main and often only mode of transportation. I'm Kathy Boyle with the Mid-Cape Assembly of God. Our mission is to provide safety equipment to these visitors as well as late-night shuttles to ensure their safe commute to and from work. These university students are future teachers, engineers, and ambassadors. They come to share their cultures with us while contributing to the Cape economy during our busiest season. Unfortunately, they can't realize these dreams if they don't make it home safely. We're asking for donations to purchase bike lights and reflective vests and to fund the nightly shuttles that are imperative to these students' safety. Please visit midcapej1housing.org or email j1latebus@gmail.com to learn how you can contribute. Please help us ensure that these future world leaders have a fun and safe summer in our community.
Welcome back to Cape Media News, your local authentic newscast for Cape Cod. Work has been underway for many months in Chatham at the site of the old Northport restaurant. Well, at least that's what it was called when I was growing up across the street. Lindsay and Fred Beerwith of Chatham have poured their heart and soul into creating a beautiful new place. It's called Chatham Works, and it's a brand new business that combines working and working out. I visited the site back in chilly February to learn more. Fred and Lindsay Beerwith's vision is taking shape in North Chatham. They've transformed a long vacant building into a gleaming 10,000 square foot fitness and co-working space. The goal of Chatham Works is to bring the Lower Cape community together and help people live healthier and happier lives.
We want to be where the school teachers go after they're educating Chatham's kids. We want to pull from Orleans and Harwich and Brewster and bring these towns together and, have some collaboration and cross-pollination with these ideas up in co-working upstairs and help. We want people to be able to work together to help them grow individually.
Fred is the business behind Chatham Works. He holds an MBA in entrepreneurship from Babson College. He's created a thorough business plan that he hopes will cater to locals as well as the summer visitors.
As we look at this, in a very elemental way, the problem we have to solve for and the problem that we have to address in terms of making sure that this is a viable business is the local market. But it's also, again, it's more the way we're wired. Certainly a lot of the Cape is already focused on the, sort of super affluent seasonal market and seasonal visitors, and we're not judging that by any stretch. And of course, we're hopeful and optimistic that we're going to attract a lot of that clientele. But we want to have an environment and a building and a business that's vibrant 12 months a year.
Chatham Works will offer an array of fitness options, something for everyone.
Part of our thinking behind this whole thing was that if we could come up with something that could make both of us really happy in terms of some of our differing preferences and styles and whatever when it comes to fitness, if we could appease both of our interests and sort of our approaches, then we would probably be checking a ton of boxes for a ton of other people too. A lot of fantastic options for group fitness, large group, small group, and also
low
personal
impact,
training.
High impact.
Yeah, and it's as Lindsay was saying before,
PT.
you can do sort of a stretching and mobility related class, a somewhat more serene and zen yoga class, all the way up to a super hardcore high intensity interval training class that will leave you gassed and probably a little achy the next day.
Fred and Lindsay bought the building in 2017 and now work to transform the space is nearly complete.
We think it's going to be a great addition to Chatham into the Lower Cape, and we really want to be sort of strongly embedded in and sort of woven into the fabric of the local community.
Chatham Works will open to the community on Monday, June 24th. In Chatham, for Cape Media News, I'm Sarah Colvin. A ribbon cutting and grand opening ceremony is taking place at 10 a.m. on Monday, June 24th. You can learn more at chathamworks.com. Coming up next, a longtime local leadership organization has a new name.
In the Yarmouth Port along Route 6A, known as one of the most beautiful roads in America, there's a little-known secret, a special building. I'm Mariana Gresti, representing the Yarmouth New Church Preservation Foundation. Since 1998, a non-religious group of local citizens have been restoring this former church building and have reopened its doors as a community center for visual and performing arts. The original details, including the stained glass windows, the tracker organ, the cast iron bell, and the recently restored ceiling paintings, are considered some of the best examples of American Gothic architecture in Massachusetts. In the audience room, we host local and visiting musicians and performers, even local school groups. In our Great Room Gallery, we hold receptions and display fine art. If you are interested in performing in our authentic historic space with its amazing acoustics, or want to help us with preservation and planning through volunteering, please go to our website at yarmouthportcommon.org. Just click on Contact and let us know. Remember to check out our calendar for this coming season of events. We look forward to seeing you at the Bell Tower on Yarmouth Port Common. Thank you very much.
For nearly 30 years, the Community Leadership Institute of Cape Cod and the Islands has worked to connect and educate leaders on Cape Cod. And now, the organization has a brand new name. A launch was held at the Witchmere Beach Club in Harwichport in May.
We've made the commitment to provide the tools to help people be successful in their businesses and within their community.
An organization dedicated to educating future leaders has a new name. The Community Leadership Institute of Cape Cod and the Islands is now known as Leadership Cape Cod.
Really, it's about identity. We want people to understand that what we're working on is building leaders on Cape Cod and building leaders for the next generation and the generation after that and so on.
CLI has been operating for 25 plus years. We've had over 600 graduates in this program. We've needed an opportunity to expand. We've had so many requests from alumni, but they want more out of this program.
The CLI program was founded in 1992 and since then has educated and inspired more than 600 Cape Codders.
I was able to travel from one location to the other, learning about the resources, the great interaction and connection that exists here, and the support that is out there for our citizens.
I was at a turning point in my life, and the program helped accelerate my growth.
It's a deep dive into the culture and underpinnings of what makes this place run.
It's been incredible to see all these different programs and services and people who are out there really on the front lines of trying to make this place better.
I feel like this is like a club that I had no idea about, and everybody's embraced me. I love it. I feel that this is what the Cape needs because we're all together. So when I say it's one love and it's one family, it's one community, that's very true.
There is so much good stuff going on Cape Cod. There are people doing amazing things, and a lot of them have been attracted to CLI and are either students, presenters, alumni, and honestly, I just love being a part of it. And I know that now that they're going to have more classes, that I'm going to continue to learn through CLI.
Now, Leadership Cape Cod will offer even more, starting with a board training program.
In June, we're running a leadership training program for people who are interested in being on a nonprofit board. We're going to talk about the roles and responsibilities and what you need to know and what you need to do when you are a member of a nonprofit board. So it's all about learning what the expectations are and being ready to jump in and go from there.
Sometimes there are programs, there's ideas, there's ways that people want to engage, and we find ourselves jumping into it. I'll give myself an example. I wanted to serve on the board. I wanted to lead. I wanted to be a part of that movement. And when I got there, I just had no idea what I was doing. And I needed to ask for support from my peers, and fortunately I'm open enough to do that. This program and its offerings are really going to be able to give people those tools on how can you be effective, how can you jump in and waist deep like we want to, and really understand what those needs may be. How can you find that support?
A $10,000 grant from Cape Cod 5 will help the program grow.
As a community bank that's very actively involved and totally dependent on the communities that we serve, we look at the alignment here of the creation of future leaders, the investment in the long-term health of our community, and the giving folks the opportunity to learn about our community, to grow their skills, to be connected with other people in the community, and to build that passion for engagement and interest in the well-being of the community and the ability to be engaged civically and collaborate with folks and to to solve complex problems and be able to work together with different perspectives for the betterment of the community in the long run.
Cape Cod has a lot of nonprofit organizations that really need support. They need board members, and so we really want to partner to be able to expand their capacity to find people with those skills and qualities and passion that they need to bring organizations moving forward. And Leadership Cape Cod wants to be the organization to be able to do that.
Leadership Cape Cod's board training program will take place in June. To learn more, visit leadershipcapecod.org. For Cape Media News, I'm Sarah Colvin. And for the record, I am a 2015 graduate of CLI, and Cape Media News reporter Gabrielle Rawson will graduate from the program next week. The Tour de Barnstable takes place this Sunday. Hundreds of cyclists will ride the 38-mile route through all 7 villages of Barnstable. The ride is designed to encourage riders to learn about the wonderful cycling routes in Barnstable. It also raises money for the Barnstable Land Trust. The ride begins at 8:30 in the morning from Aselton Park in Hyannis. Do be aware of cyclists in the road for the majority of the morning on Sunday. If you'd like to ride, you can still sign up. You can sign up in person at Cape Cod Beer on Saturday, June 8th. From 1 to 4 p.m. and Sunday morning, bright and early, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. at the Cape Cod Maritime Museum. We'll see you there. That's a wrap for this week's episode of Cape Media News. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, you can stay up to date with us online. You can check out our newly updated pages at capemedia.org, where you can find information about our pop-up newsroom. By the way, we'll be at the Father's Day Car Show on Hyannis Main Street June 17th and the Long Table event on Hyannis Main Street on June 23rd. We'll be back next week with more Cape Media News. We'll have scenes from the Tour de Barnstable, take you to the blessing of the rakes, and so much more. For Cape Media News, I'm Sarah Colvin.